Hi, I'm Jim Smith, Director of Marketing and Advertising at Sofa Express in the 1999 ADDY chair.
And I'm Barry Shago, Key Account Executive with the Columbus Dispatch and ADDY Co-Chair.
Since July, we have been building a finely honed machine.
A machine designed and built with the purpose of celebrating the year's outstanding creative work.
And not just outstanding creative work, but the best of the best. Those big ideas that were born, nurtured, and survived to be presented here in their purest form.
To build such a machine, it took an army of volunteers who sacrificed their time, money, and resources.
Exceptional partners like SBC Advertising, LSY Interactive, and Ozone Studios.
And special thanks to This Week Newspapers, this year's presenting sponsor.
Thanks to the Columbus Dispatch and Sofa Express, and many thanks to everyone who volunteered on this year's ADDYs and made it
a show that we'll be proud to be remembered for.
The Advertising Federation of Columbus welcomes you to the 1999 Columbus American Advertising Awards presentation, part of the industry's largest and most representative competition for creative excellence in the country. The key word is excellence. No one starts out in the advertising business to be average. We don't strive to produce creative that's okay. We want to come up with the best possible ideas, because at the end of the day, we're remembered for those efforts, whether they're good or bad. So the next time you sit down to start on a project, think to yourself, how do I want to be remembered? There were 927 entries to the ADDY competition this year. Of those, 145 received citations of excellence, 43 received ADDYs. There were 5 Judges' Choice Awards and 1 Best of Show. So without further ado, let's see how well you and your work were remembered. Let's start things off with the Sales Promotion Division. Our first citation of excellence goes to Fahlgren for a catalog for Simonton windows. And our first ADDY goes to Zero Base Advertising for their work for Bite Golf. A citation of excellence in the sales kit category goes to Young Isaac for the Ohio Casualty Group. As for the ADDY, well, there were 2. One goes to Resource Marketing for the sales kit they did for Autodesk. The second ADDY goes to Salvato, Co. & Gaber for their work for the Scotts Company. The Scotts Company must be a good client because Salvato, Co. & Gaber also picks up a citation of excellence in the newsletter category. Congratulations. Moving on to the packaging category, single unit. 2 citations of excellence were awarded. One to Crabtree and Strushin Design for Rexam Metallizing. The other citation of excellence goes to Salvato, Co. & Gaber for Century Resources. The category for packaging, series, or campaign is quite crowded. A citation of excellence goes to Crabtree and Strushin Design for Rexam Metallizing. Another citation of excellence goes to Integrate for Kenneth Lilly Corporation. The third citation of excellence is awarded to Lord Sullivan and Yoder for their work for Amway. As for the ADDY, drum roll please, it goes to Deep Cover for their work for Home Bistro. The next category is for Point of Purchase, otherwise known as POP, Countertop, or Attached. And this category is crowded as well. There are 4 citations of excellence. The first goes to Deep Cover for their work for Home Bistro. Another citation of excellence goes to Zero Base Advertising for Bite Golf. Zero Base strikes again for a citation of excellence for their work for Disco Round. The 4th citation of excellence goes to Zero Base for more work for Disco Round. As for the ADDY, well, Zero Base Advertising snags their second of the evening, this time for Ohio Health. In the Point of Purchase freestanding category, 2 citations of excellence were awarded. One goes to SBC Advertising for Play It Again Sports. The second citation of excellence goes to Zero Base Advertising for Ohio Health. The year's best trade show exhibit? It's by Retail Design Group for LC Industries, and it wins a citation of excellence. In the category of audiovisual sales presentations, Horizons Companies takes home a citation of excellence for their outstanding work for Quest LCI. Another round of applause is needed for Horizons Companies as they win another citation of excellence, this time for Glencoe McGraw-Hill.
Hello?
Time to have your eyes checked? We'll pay for your eye exam up to $50 right now at Eye Masters.
Hey, that's great. But who are the chefs?
Not going anywhere for a while?
Great googly moogly.
Grab a Snickers.
You spell it. Yeah.
Little Caesar's new pizza by the foot is radically different, so please observe a safe turning radius. No. Yes. Thank you and good luck. Little Caesar's new pizza by the foot is radically different, so please observe a safe turning radius. No. Yes. Hey, look out! Thank you and good luck.
I don't think he was paying attention.
Pizza by the foot. Nearly 3 feet of pizza and free Italian bread, just $10.99. Carried out or have it delivered.
Pizza, pizza.
Okay, let's say goodbye to sales promotion and say hello to the collateral material division, which is defined as anything that's printed on paper but doesn't appear in any media like newspaper or magazines. For stationery package, flat printed, a citation of excellence goes to the creative spot for their client, Family Medicine. A second citation of excellence goes to Sebastian Polini Design for their work for Pam Conley. An ADDY was awarded, and it goes to Integrate for their work for the Conrad Company. Let's move on to a designer's dream come true, annual reports. In the less than 4 color category, give it up for Salvato Co. and Gaber. They win an ADDY for their work for Grady Memorial Hospital. Next up is annual report 4 color. More colors must mean more awards because there were 3 given. A citation of excellence goes to Bethke Limited for their annual report for intimate brands. Another citation of excellence goes to Salvato Co. and Gaber, this one for the Max and Irma's annual report. The third citation of excellence goes to Salvato Co. and Gaber for their work for the Scott's Company. Let's move on to brochures, shall we? Another category where the competition was fierce. Emerging with a citation of excellence was Salvato Co. and Gaber for its brochure for the Bisis Group. Let's hear it again for Salvato Co. and Gaber, who snares another citation of excellence, this time for Nationwide Insurance. 2 brochures were deemed worthy of ADDYs. The first was created by Bethke Limited for Steiner and Associates. The second ADDY goes to Zero Base Advertising for their client, Crenell. There's only one way to describe this next category. Imagine 270 during rush hour. This was one crowded category, with 9 citations of excellence being awarded. The first goes to HMS Partners for their poster for Client Underwear House. Another citation of excellence goes to HMS Partners for another poster created for Underwear House. A third citation of excellence goes to HMS Partners for another great Underwear House poster. SBC Advertising gets into the picture with their poster for Barry's Barbells. It gets a citation of excellence. Another citation of excellence goes to SBC Advertising for a second poster created for Barry's Barbells. Also grabbing a citation of excellence is Zero Base Advertising for a nifty poster for UBC. Zero Base strikes again, getting a citation of excellence for their Victoria's Flowers poster. And while the Columbus Quest doesn't have a team anymore, they do have a citation of excellence for a poster created by Zero Base Advertising. Actually, make it 2 in a row for the Quest, as another poster created by their agency, Zero Base Advertising, wins a citation of excellence. When it comes to ADDYs, the judges were more generous for a change. Let's hear it for Zero Base Advertising, who gets an ADDY for this poster for Victoria's Flowers. ADDY number 2 in the category goes to Zero Base Advertising for another cool poster for client Victoria's Flowers. Zero Base Advertising gets a third ADDY, this time for a poster created for UBC. ADDY number 4, it's Zero Base Advertising again with another eye-catching poster for Victoria's Flowers. Actually, there were a lot of eye-catching posters for Victoria's Flowers. The 5th ADDY is for this poster created by Zero Base Advertising. The 6th and final ADDY gives Zero Base Advertising a sweep in the category. This one is for their work for the Columbus Quest. The poster campaign category was a little less crowded, but the work was just as strong. A citation of excellence was awarded for a poster for Barley's Brewing Company, courtesy of Costello Nardecchia Advertising. Also getting a citation of excellence is HMS Partners for their poster campaign for Underwear House. Also winning a citation of excellence is SBC Advertising for client Barry's Barbells. A 4th citation of excellence goes to Zero Base Advertising for their campaign for the Columbus Quest. Emerging on top in the poster campaign category is Zero Base Advertising, who gets an ADDY for their attention-getting ideas for Victoria's Flowers. Zero Base was very prolific for Victoria's Flowers, as they win a second ADDY for another outstanding campaign. Let's move on to a new category, Special Event Materials. A citation of excellence goes to Peebles Panos for a card they created for White Castle System. In the invitation category, there were multiple winners. Shade Hinkle was awarded a citation of excellence for a wedding invitation created for Larry and Vanessa Hinkle. A second citation of excellence goes to Zero Base for their invitation for Ohio Health. There was plenty of memorable work done in the next area, direct marketing. First up is Business to Business Single Flat. Let's give a round of applause to Salvato Co. and Gaber Associates, who gets the sole ADDY in the category for its work for Abbott Labs. Moving on to Business Single Three-Dimensional. A citation of excellence goes to Young Isaac for their work for Cymix. In the Business to Consumer Single Flat, there were multiple citations of excellence awarded. The first goes to Conrad Phillips and Viewtech for its more than functional work for functional furnishings. Another Citation of Excellence is awarded to HMS Partners for client Underwear House. Zero Base Advertising snags the third Citation of Excellence for its work for Time Warner. Citation of Excellence number 4 also goes to Zero Base Advertising, this time for client UBC. There was one ADDY awarded, and it goes to Zero Base Advertising again for client UBC. Still in the business-to-consumer single category, we move on to the three-dimensional winners. There were 2. A Citation of Excellence goes to Bethke Limited for its work for The Limited. Another Citation of Excellence goes to Zero Base Advertising for a piece they created for Red Planet. In the business-to-consumer campaign flat category, let's hear it again for Bethke Limited, who takes a Citation of Excellence for client the Pizzuti Companies. Bethke Limited gets a second Citation of Excellence, again for client the Pizzuti Companies. Let's welcome HMS Partners to the winner's circle as they take home a Citation of Excellence for client Underwear House. Rounding out the winners in this category is Zero Base Advertising, who gets a Citation of Excellence for a client we're all now familiar with, UBC. Okay, the next category is a mouthful, so bear with me. In business-to-consumer campaign, three-dimensional mixed, the lone award, a Citation of Excellence, goes to the folks at Bethke Limited. The client is The Limited. It's time to award another ADDY. The category is Specialty Advertising Apparel. The winner is the Arthur G. James Cancer Hospital and Research Institute, and the client is the Arthur G. James Cancer Hospital and Research Institute. For Specialty Advertising Other Merchandise, a Citation of Excellence goes to Hansen & Hansen Incorporated for the work it did for Tom Dabanovich.
It all started when my niece and nephew sent me a Saturn brochure. See, I live in a pretty small town. Doesn't even have a stoplight, much less a car dealership. But when I saw what the Saturn had to offer, I called the closest retailer, even though it was all the way down in Salt Lake. No problem, they said, we'll pick you up. I guess I assumed that they would come in a car. But Scott, the Saturn sales guy, was also a pilot, which was fine with me. And 250 miles later, we were there, and I finally got to see a Saturn. I bought the gold one. Good thing, I guess, considering that no one had ever mentioned how I was going to get home.
We're now at that point in the show where awards are given for out-of-home work. In the site interior, malls, airports, and stations, a Citation of Excellence goes to the folks at Ron Foth Advertising for their work for Columbus Chill Hockey. Moving on to the site exterior business, ID Banners, there were 3 Citations of Excellence awarded. The first goes to Zero Base Advertising for client Bike Golf. The second goes to Zero Base Advertising for Bike Golf. And the third, well, it goes to Zero Base Advertising, for Bike Golf. In the campaign category, let's hear it for the Creative Spot, who takes home a Citation of Excellence for client A1 Body and Frame. As for the ADDY, it goes to Zero Base Advertising for their outstanding work for client Bike Golf. Our next area is Business Trade Publication. The competition was tough in the first category, full page, 4-color. A Citation of Excellence is awarded to Conrad Phillips and Butek for client Williams Technologies. Conrad Phillips and Butek snares another Citation of Excellence, this time for client Williams Detroit Diesel Allison. A Citation of Excellence also goes to HMS Partners for its work for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. HMS Partners gets another Citation of Excellence for client American Electric Power. We're not finished with HMS Partners. They get a third citation of excellence, again for client American Electric Power. Next up is SBC Advertising, who takes home a citation of excellence for client Sherwin-Williams. While we're at it, let's add Zero Base to the list. They received the last citation of excellence in the category for its work for bike golf. In the spread or multiple page 4-color category, there were 2 citations of excellence awarded. The first goes to SBC Advertising for its work for Sherwin-Williams. Citation of excellence number 2 also goes to SBC Advertising. The client was Sherwin-Williams. For campaign 4-color, hand clapping is in order for HMS Partners, who receives a citation of excellence for client American Electric Power. HMS Partners scores again, getting a citation of excellence for its eye-catching work for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Rounding out our winners list is Lord Sullivan and Yoder, who goes home with a citation of excellence for client GCCVB. Time for a new division. This time, it's Consumer Magazine. For fractional page less than 4-color, kudos to Zero Base Advertising for picking up a citation of excellence for Camerons. In the full page less than 4-color arena, Fahlgren gets a citation of excellence for its work for McDonald's Corporation. For full page 4-color, 3 citations of excellence were awarded. The first to our friends at HMS Partners for their outstanding work for American Electric Power. HMS Partners strikes again, this time earning another citation of excellence for client Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They're joined by Zero Base Advertising, who gets a citation of excellence for their work for Zero Casualties. It's ADDY time again. Hats off to everyone at Zero Base Advertising. They get the ADDY for working hard on behalf of client Zero Casualties. In campaign 4-color category, we had multiple winners. A citation of excellence goes to HMS Partners for client Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And make room for Lord Sullivan and Yoder, who also takes home a citation of excellence for their work for GCCVB. There was an ADDY awarded in this category, and it goes to Zero Base Advertising for client Zero Casualties.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
In our next category, newspaper, half page or less, black and white, the field is quite crowded. The first citation of excellence goes to Castello Nardecchia Advertising for client Barley's Brewing Company. The second citation of excellence is going home with HMS Partners for their work for Underwear House. Actually, the third citation of excellence is also going home with HMS Partners, this time for American Electric Power. Young Isaac enters the fray, winning a citation of excellence for client Adena Health Systems. Zero Base Advertising also gets a citation of excellence for their work for Ohio Health. Another citation of excellence goes to Zero Base Advertising for client Adena. The final citation of excellence is awarded to Zero Base Advertising. The client is Cameron's. Don't go anywhere, I'm not done. It's time for an ADDY. Actually, multiple ADDYs. The first goes to Conrad Phillips and Viewtech for their ad for the Columbus Quest. The next ADDY is awarded to HMS Partners for their ad for Underwear House. The last ADDY for the category also goes to HMS Partners for their ad for Underwear House. Staying in the newspaper category, more than half page, black and white, a citation of excellence is awarded to Zero Base Advertising for an ad for Adena. Moving on to newspaper campaigns, black and white, the field is a tad more crowded. However, a few agencies had what it took to stand out, including Conrad Phillips and Viewtech, who wins a citation of excellence for their campaign for Woodland Mall. Also taking home a citation of excellence is the Creative Spot for their work for A1 Body and Frame. The Creative Spot strikes again for their second citation of excellence in this category for their campaign for New World Restaurants. Rounding out the citation of excellence winners is Zero Base, who gets one for their work for Cameron's. The ADDY in the category goes to HMS Partners for this highly creative campaign for Underwear House. In newspaper, it's amazing what a little color will do. For Ron Foth Advertising, it scores them a citation of excellence in the newspaper campaign Spot Color category for their work for the Columbus Chill. Finishing up our look at newspaper advertising in the campaign for color category, a citation of excellence goes to Bethke Limited for their entertaining work for client Pizzuti.
Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Like falling rain, you'll toss around.
Now it's time for the interactive portion of the show. No, you don't have to do anything, because I'm talking about our next category, interactive media. In the World Wide Web online advertising category, the first citation of excellence is awarded to the Ohio Division of the American Cancer Society for their website. Another citation of excellence goes to MC Squared for its client, Lane Bryant. And Resource Marketing takes home a citation of excellence for the cool stuff they did for Burton Snowboards. As for the ADDY, it goes to MC Squared for the inspiring ideas they brought to life for Hayward. As we all know, CDs aren't just for music anymore. They can make great sales packages. In our next category, Disc-Based Sales Package, a citation of excellence was awarded to Horizons Companies for their work for Actual Reality. A second citation of excellence goes to Out of the Box Designs for their out-of-the-box thinking for Cutler Hammer. Congratulations. In our next division, the goal is to entertain, educate, and sell. Oh, and you only have 30 to 60 seconds to do it. That's right, it's time for radio. Our first category, Local 60 Seconds. Conrad Phillips takes home a citation of excellence for a highly creative spot they produced for This Week newspapers. Another citation of excellence was awarded to Zero Base Advertising for the 60 seconds of magic they created for Dawson. In the regional national 30-second category, our winner had a bigger audience to talk to, but less time to do it. The citation of excellence goes to Zero Base Advertising for a commercial they created for Time Warner. The regional national 60-second category had a larger population of winners. The first citation of excellence goes to HMS Partners for a spot they produced for Huntington Banks. The second citation of excellence is awarded to HMS Partners for another entertaining commercial for Huntington Banks. Rounding out the citation of excellence winners is Lord Sullivan and Yoder, who takes one home for a radio spot for Columbia Gas. As for the Addy, well, the third time must be the charm, because the Addy goes to HMS Partners for their radio-friendly client, Huntington Banks.
I am a man. My home is my castle, a haven for my family, a gathering place for friends. I have built this home out of brick and mortar. Not literally, of course, I'm not handy, but I had builders do it. And now I will expand my home to include manly things, like a deck and a grill and a really cool apron that says, "The Chief."
With a home equity credit line from Huntington Banks, you can have more money in your pocket for things like home improvement.
And I will sit on my deck with other men whose castles have no decks, and they will envy me.
Just visit any Huntington office or call 1-800-480-BANK today.
And for a man, envy is what it's all about.
Huntington Banks Home Equity Lines. Subject to credit approval, acceptable property appraisal, and title search. Huntington Banks, Equal Housing Lender.
In the regional national campaign category, HMS Partners walks away with a citation of excellence for their campaign for Huntington Banks. Our next division has many of the same challenges as radio: educate, entertain, and sell in a very short amount of time. But in this category, you get to use pictures. That's right, it's time for television. Our first TV category is for the 30-second spots that ran locally. Our first citation of excellence goes to Falgren for a spot for the Columbus Dispatch. Citation of excellence number 2 goes home with Gerbig, Snell, Weisheimer & Associates for their work for OSU Medical Center. A third citation of excellence is awarded to Zero Base Advertising for their 30-second commercial for Ohio Health. The Addy in the category also goes to Zero Base Advertising for this spot produced for client Ohio Health.
I need to know that you're going to take care of him. I need to know your doctors have been down this road before. I need to know you'll be honest with me. I need to know I've made the right decision.
The world of television commercials is not limited to 30 seconds, as our next category clearly demonstrates. In the local, single, 60 and 90-second category, Zero Base Advertising grabs a citation of excellence for their commercial for Ohio Health. Zero Base also gets the Addy in the category for another spot for Ohio Health.
These hands have held a beating heart. These hands have successfully completed over 1,500 open heart surgeries. These hands have turned over 65,000 pages of medical journals. These hands can perform open heart surgery through an opening no bigger than this. These hands you can trust.
If you think producing one great TV spot is tough, try producing a campaign of them. Well, Zero Base Advertising did just that for Ohio Health, and it wins them the sole citation of excellence in the local campaign category. Moving on to regional, national, 30-second single commercials for institutional products or services, the first citation of excellence goes to HMS Partners for its commercial for American Electric Power. The second citation of excellence also goes to HMS Partners, this time for their work for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. This may sound repetitive, but citation of excellence number 3 also goes to HMS Partners for another spot produced for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. There was one more citation of excellence awarded. However, the results were the same. The winner was HMS Partners, and they won it for a commercial created for American Electric Power. As for the ADDY, well, there's no surprise here. HMS Partners wins it for this eye-catching spot they produced for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Did you know that exercising regularly can increase your lung capacity? Through Anthem Senior Health Plans, you'll learn everything you need to know to stay healthy. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Get well, be well, stay well.
Our next category is regional national commercials created for communication services or products. A citation of excellence is going home with the folks from Ron Foth Advertising for their work for Quest LCI. Ron Foth Advertising snares a second citation of excellence for another spot created for Quest LCI. Obviously, there's a trend developing here, because the ADDY goes to Ron Foth Advertising for a great TV idea created for, you guessed it, Quest LCI.
They starch them up. I think my wife gets double starched.
You can hardly button them.
And you get your tie all tied, and then you reach up there to button the collar.
Crack.
Gone.
Gone, right. Yeah.
Ripped right off.
You got the one on the sleeve, and then you got one about 6 inches up on the sleeve. To this day, I can't figure out what that button's for.
That's right. Then they got that one. It's midstream right there.
I'm leaving the house. I got to tell my wife, button that button, will you? Which one? And then you can't find it.
Because it's smashed in because of the starch.
What do they call that button?
Well, I don't know what they call that button,
Next is the regional national television campaigns for consumer services. The first citation of excellence goes to HMS Partners for their campaign for client American Electric Power. A second citation of excellence was awarded to HMS Partners, this time for work created for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. A final citation of excellence goes to Ron Foth Advertising for their Quest LCI television campaign. Our next division is multiple media campaigns. Here, agencies use a combination of media to reach their target, hence the name multiple media. Anyway, let's see who the winners were in the business-to-business regional national category. A citation of excellence goes to HMS Partners for their campaign for American Electric Power. SBC Advertising bags the second citation of excellence for their work for Sherwin-Williams. For the local business-to-consumer category, 3 citations of excellence were awarded. The first goes home with Conrad Phillips and Butech for a campaign for Woodland Mall. Citation of excellence number 2 goes to Zero Base Advertising for their campaign for Ohio Health. The last citation of excellence is going home with the folks at Zero Base Advertising for their efforts for client UBC. The ADDY goes to HMS Partners for this revealing campaign for Underwear House. The next segment is always fun, industry self-promotion. From a creative standpoint, it has to be one of the toughest, most demanding projects to work on. For a select few, however, the hard work paid off. Earning our first citation of excellence in the Agency Design Studio category is HMS Partners. Another citation of excellence is awarded to Lord, Sullivan & Yoder. Grabbing the third citation of excellence is Salvato Co. & Gaber Associates. And congratulations are in order for everyone at Zero Base Advertising who takes the ADDY. In the advertising supplier category, hats off again to Salvato Co. & Gaber for winning a citation of excellence for their work for Brad Holland. There were 2 ADDYs awarded in this category. The first goes to the staff at Horizons Companies. Also snaring an ADDY was Salvato Co. & Gaber for their attention-getting work for Baseman Printing Corporation. Next category, Ad Club Self-Promotion. Grabbing the first citation of excellence was Conrad Phillips and Vutek, who created a very attractive piece for the Columbus Society of Communicating Arts. Also getting a citation of excellence was Salvato Coe and Gaber Associates for work they also did for the Columbus Society of Communicating Arts. Actually, they did a lot of award-winning work for the CSCA. The third citation of excellence goes to Salvato Coe and Gaber for a piece for the CSCA. The next citation of excellence also goes to Salvato Coe and Gaber for work they did for the CSCA. Citation of excellence number 5 also goes to Salvato Coe and Gaber for a CSCA piece. We obviously have a trend here because the last citation of excellence also goes to Salvato Coe and Gaber for their work for the Columbus Society of Communicating Arts. As for the ADDY, well, it goes to the fine folks at Next Generation Digital Advertising on behalf of the Advertising Federation of Columbus. Our next section involves the visual and audio elements of advertising. Our first category is logo and trademark design. A citation of excellence is awarded to Horizons companies for their client, Glencoe. Citation of excellence number 2 is handed out to Integrate for their eye-catching work for the Conrad Company. A final citation of excellence goes to Marcy Design Group, who created a work of art for Egan Ryan Funeral Service. For their work in the flat or dimensional illustration category, SBC Advertising goes home with a citation of excellence for their work for Habitat for Humanity. In the black and white still photography category, a citation of excellence was awarded to George C. Anderson Photography for George C. Anderson Photography. Our final category in the visual and audio elements of advertising is instrumental musical scores. Taking the first citation of excellence is Circa Productions for their score for Gerbig Snell Weisheimer. Citation of excellence number 2 is just like the first. It goes to Circa Productions for their efforts for client Gerbig Snell Weisheimer. The final citation of excellence is also awarded to Circa Productions, this time for a track for Zero Base Advertising. As for the ADDYs, there were 3 awarded. The first goes to Circa Productions for client Gerbig Snell Weisheimer. The second ADDY goes to, surprise, surprise, Circa Productions for the nifty sounds they created for Gerbig Snell Weisheimer. Try to guess who won the last ADDY in this category. That's right, Circa Productions takes it home for this piece done for zero-base advertising. Our next division salutes those firms who create memorable work that promotes the arts in our community. In the Consumer Magazine category, let's hear it for Conrad Phillips and ViewTech, who receive a Citation of Excellence for a Huntington National Bank ad. Our next category is Collateral Material Poster, and taking home the Citation of Excellence is Salvato Co. and Gaber for their client, Lancaster Parks and Recreation. New category, new winner. The Citation of Excellence for the television category goes to Young Isaac for a spot they created for the Pro Musica Chamber Orchestra. In our next division, clients oftentimes have no budget to speak of, but what they do have to offer is a great message. I'm referring to the public service category. Here, creatives use their skill and experience to promote things like hope, vision, and compassion. Our first award is a Citation of Excellence, and it goes to Falgren for its brochure for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeast, Central, and Southern Ohio. In the Special Event Material category, Bethke Limited wins a Citation of Excellence for a piece created for Columbus Montessori. In the final category, Audio-Visual, an ADDY goes to the folks at the Arthur G. James Cancer Hospital and Research Institute.
I'm hungry. Has anybody got a cigarette? What? A cigarette. What? You smoke? Yeah, I smoke. You got a problem?
That's why your breath be smelling like that?
Why you gotta talk about my breath?
Because it's funky.
That's not even right.
But why you smoke, though?
Because I do. Why don't you?
Because it's not good for you. That's why I
That's
don't.
unhealthy, girl. Oh, no, it's not good for me?
We like you, but, that's funky.
What, y'all know something special?
Hold on. Let me tell you something, man. I know somebody that smoked. It was terrible. And I'm going to let y'all know how it go down. So, check this out.
Here's a little story I've got to tell about. Here's a little story I've got to tell about.
I once knew a kid who liked to smoke a lot. He thought he was down, but now he chokes a lot. He tried to get me, but I could see clearly what the smoke was doing. Death was going through him. Wrinkled face, butter teeth, his breath stinks. If smoking means I smell like you, then no thanks. I'd rather be in shape, scooping the honey dip, smiling on field trips with no crust on my lips. What I look like with a cigarette in hand. A nerd trying to be cool, that ain't a man. Smoke if you want, but don't say I told you. The kid in the mirror look as old as Yoda.
In this business, we can't always determine exactly how well an ad pulled or how many sales a brochure generated. But when we can, we recognize it with something we call our Documented Success Award. Basically, entrants had to supply a notarized letter from their client detailing the effectiveness of an ad or campaign. Well, the folks at Ron Foth Advertising passed the test with flying colors and win the Documented Success Award for their efforts on behalf of client Safelight. Well, we're at that point when we announce the Judges' Choice Awards and the Best of Show. But before we do, congratulations are in order for those of you who will be remembered as ADDY winners. And for everyone else, well, it's time to start burning the midnight oil and create the kind of work that will get you remembered in next year's show. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Judges' Choice Awards.
Hi, my name is Dan Bustow. I'm a creative director at J. Walter Thompson in Detroit, Michigan. Don't throw anything at the screen. I'm in a bit of an awkward spot here today. It's the day before the Ohio State-Michigan game, so I don't know what the outcome's going to be. If Ohio State won, I congratulate you. You had a lot of patience. You waited a long time for that. If Michigan won, don't feel too bad because you've been there before. But I was here to judge a lot of really good advertising this week, and I picked a radio spot. It's a radio spot called I'm a Man. It was done for Huntington Banks by HMS Partners. I picked a radio spot because it was the only radio spot that won an ADDY this week, and there were over 100 entries. And if I were you sitting out there and I was a writer, and I am a writer, and I've been sitting out there with you before, I'd think, what were you guys thinking? One winner. But radio is especially hard to do, and I applaud the people who did it. It's an especially tough category, bank. You'd think if anybody was going to win a creative award for radio, it wouldn't be a bank, but it was. And I applaud the creatives who did it, the agency who sold it, and the bank who bought it. Congratulations.
I am a man. My home is my castle, a haven for my family, a gathering place for friends. I have built this home out of brick and mortar. Not literally, of course, I'm not handy, but I had builders do it.
Hi, my name is Cotton Stevenson. I have a little startup shop called Looking Glass Communications out in the San Francisco Bay Area with about 8,000 other guys. And my judge's choice, I liked a lot of the work, and all these judges are going to say they liked a lot of the work, but the one that I liked the best was that delightful telephone campaign for Quest LCI. I liked the idea to start with, you know, and you're out there in a really, really tough, crowded area. You got Candace Bergen yakking it out, now that's changed. You got MCI beating up on AT&T, you got 10-10-10, and you got all that other competition, and this one, just in a real simple way, said the same thing everybody else is saying. I love the styling on the side-by-side phones. The more I saw them, the more I realized how hard you guys tried to go, okay, what phone fits this personality? I loved the dialogue. I loved everything about them, and moreover, they were believable, and they convinced me, and they were warm in a kind of a charming way. So that was my favorite campaign, guys. So congratulations to everybody at Ron Fold for what I think is a really, truly good idea, because it was an idea that made that thing big. Thanks.
Right now they're pretty short.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna get a manicure.
Do it.
I
Do
am.
it. I mean, it costs more, but your nails always look nice. But you
Right.
have nice looking nails anyway.
Well-
Mine, if I don't have something over top of my nail, you know, they break.
Right.
And I have boy hands, so.
Well, I've been working on it, but now that I have a puppy,
Yeah.
it's like, you know,
You
I
can't
have
do
to,
it.
No, I can't do it. So I have to constantly watch him. So that means my nails get smudged, and then I have to.
That's what I try to do. I try to start around 8 when the shows come on.
Right.
And then.
Well, you know what I do with my pies. I always mix a little brown sugar in, and you can use it half and half, whatever it calls for.
Brown
if
sugar
you,
would be
if
okay.
You want.
Yeah,
And
but my
then,
pie was really something special.
Yeah?
I mean, I hate to brag, but it really was pretty good.
Well, do you use butter?
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't use butter all the time, but there are occasions when I think you can use butter.
Oh,
really.
yes. And there is a
Oh.
point where you can put pears in pumpkin pie.
Pears in
Believe
pumpkin?
it or not.
No.
Yes, you like.
They starch them up. I think my wife gets
You can
double
hardly,
starch.
you can hardly button them.
And you get your tie all tied, and then you reach up there to button the collar.
Crack.
Gone.
Hi, I'm Mark Gauss from CRE Marcom in Indianapolis. I'm the Vice President and Creative Director over there, and I've had really enjoyed looking at the work over here in Columbus. Actually, as we've gone through the work, saw some great ideas, some wonderful art direction, and I usually look for some very high-end, high-design work with strong copywriting, strong ideas, really gritty stuff, and find it really interesting. My judge's choice is from zero-based advertising, and it's for Victoria's Flowers. Very sensitive, made me laugh. I mean, really seriously made me laugh. I love the honesty in the campaign, Wasn't over art directed, wasn't high-end, high-edge. You know, it was just wonderful design, and congratulations, Zero Base. Really like the stuff.
Promotional book to Horizon Dairy. I thought it was a really well done piece. It was well written, it was engaging, it was well designed but not over designed, and I guess the one thing I wanted to say about it was if I did it, I wouldn't want any other agencies to see it. Really good work.
Hi, I'm Michael Smolanek, Senior Art Director at Thomas & Perkins in Denver, Colorado. And I really want to thank you for inviting me to be a part of the judging. It was actually 2 long days, and a lot of decisions were made, and I think all 5 of the judges were really happy with what we picked and what got in the show, so everybody should feel very proud with what they got in. My choice is Zero Base advertising campaign that they created for zero casualties. I really like the concept of the product. I like the execution of the ads. They're pretty smart, very intelligent, and also they were nicely laid out and well executed, and I would really congratulate them for the job that they've done.
Time for Best of Show. Out of 927 entries, we came up with a couple of zeros.
Zero-based advertising for zero casualties.
And specifically, this wonderful ad called Funeral. And despite the title, it really brought the whole room to life when we first saw it. Congratulations to the creative team, Mark Hillman, creative director, and Brad Webb, senior art director and copywriter. This ad won for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a great concept, but unusually the product had as great a concept as the ad for all the help that it's going to do in the inner city. So congratulations on behalf of all the judges. We enjoyed our week in Columbus, and especially to the people involved with this terrific ad.